given access to receive messages of clarity, guidance, and love. As channeler, psychotherapist, and author, Noemi Grace has an intimate dialogue with the divine on your behalf. Lisa Berry intuitively listens and expresses the deep questions on people's hearts and elevates the conversation, while Noemi Grace channels divine wisdom and expansive answers to your deepest questions. Each show's themes are related to self-love, self-healing, relationships, and personal struggles, offers tools that will lead to sacred stability and help you find your best solutions. Join us now as we give you access to angels and grace. Hello, everybody. Welcome. And hello, Noemi. We are all both happy to be here.
We are always happy to be here. And yes, hello to our listeners, and hello, Lisa.
We have an interesting show, I find, today, because I've been thinking about it a lot, and we've titled it, "The Darkness is Not Scary Because We Are the Light." Mm-hmm. And I think what a great show to do on the heels of shadows and what's lurking behind there and trying to find the gems. Because as we just even bring this up, like, the darkness is not scary. And I would imagine the people who are afraid of the dark, they hear that and they cringe right away, like, tighten up a little bit. Like, oh, what do you mean the darkness isn't scary? And then when you hear because we are the light, it kind of switches where we're looking from.
Great observation. Yes, where we're looking from. Not looking into the dark, we're looking as the light. We're looking out from the light. So
yes. Oh, so beautiful. Actually, I think I'm going to jump right into the show description, because it's going to set us up, and we can discuss and get the access that you are going to be able to offer us as you talk to the divine.
Sounds lovely.
All right. So we said the darkness is not scary because we are the light. Can you own your own darkness? Be comfortable in it and even thrive when darkness is present. So often we try to avoid, dismiss, or ignore our inner darkness because we want to live in the light. But we developed and grew in the womb in a complete darkness before we were birthed into the light, and darkness has never completely left us. The darkness of the womb offered safety, nourishment, comfort, and a place to grow. But outside the womb, we have become very uncomfortable with the darkness within and around us. We have learned to search for the light whenever the darkness appears because we think we cannot thrive unless we are in the light. Yet the darkness can still offer us that safety, nourishment, comfort, and a place to grow if we stop resisting it and get comfortable being the light that we are in the darkness of the day. I love that so much, and I love that the whole idea about the womb came up.
Yeah. That was, when we were, you wanted to do this topic, and as we were talking about the darkness, and then it was like, oh, the womb is dark, and look at how safe it is in the womb, and yet as we are birthed and we become those that are wanting to be in the light and of the light, we start to then easily to look at the darkness as, ooh, not that, nope, don't want that. And so, but we can't completely avoid the darkness, right? You were talking about how the days are shorter, and if you're going for a walk, there's a longer shadow, and so we were, recognizing that in the physical world there are the shadows, there is the dimness, there is lighter spots and dimmer spots, and it's all good. There's nothing wrong with any of it.
Yes. And I'm going to bring it to this fun point about...
Okay.
This is a fun point about dark and light. Yes, because I think it feels like it's that external thing again. We're looking to the external to validate or make us safe or what it is. And we turn on the light so I can see, right? Like we go, okay, turn the light on so I can see, so I don't stub my toe, so I can see what's lurking in the shadows. Like, let's turn that light on. But I feel like we kind of lose that, we shut off our intuition when that happens as well. And I'll jump into a little thing. I have kitty cats that go outside, and I like to get them in when it's dark. But it's kind of funny as the sun is setting and it's becoming more dark and dark. My fear level does raise. I can feel it going, oh no, I want to get them in before it's dark because now I suddenly can't see, and suddenly the world is full of all these animals that are ready to attack my animals just because the sun went down. Now, not a complete lie here, but
no, especially
they do come
since
out.
you don't live in the city, so yeah.
Yeah, so that is true, but our imagination, our minds really do conjure up these things like it's dark, so now there's instantly something negative or bad or evil or scary waiting to attack me. I'm no longer safe, is what I think that happens, and we
right, and so you're aware of that for your kitties as well. Ooh, they're no longer safe. They've been safe all day, but it's
yes.
got to get them in, and. I remember when Lucy disappeared and how anxious you were because she was out there in the dark overnight, and just that was so anxiety provoking, just the thought of it,
Yes. And we often think that about someone else. We don't want someone else to be scared. And yet that's an external overlay as well when you think about that, because they're like, oh, well, they're going to be scared if it's dark. And if there's a way to encourage the inner light to have trust. And actually, I already have the question for channeling, but I know you have a pre-channeled message for me, but I'm going to write down my questions that just came in that we are going
write
to get
down your question.
Yes.
you're intuitively listening.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. And so, it's a different way to look at things, to embrace the darkness, and in the pre-channel message says this doesn't mean that you should go to the most unsafe place and shine your light and go, okay, it's great. It's we have to recognize what is so, but when we can access the light more, then we get to see what's there's something, the line here in the pre-channel message I'm about to read where it says something like, then you can differentiate between what really is dim and what is dimmed by because there isn't a lot of light, and it's not darkness. And so that was a good distinction.
Yes. So would you like to read it? Do we have time to read the pre-channel?
Well, we have time to read it, unless you had some story or something you wanted to share at this point.
No, I'm going to save them till, yes, I think the pre-channel is just so lovely.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to grab that swig of water. Okay. So I entitled this Allow. So I add the title. They don't give me the title. The source doesn't give me the title. So I usually add something that's towards the tail end of it. Allow the dance of light and dark to free you. We are in your lives as the light, and you are all in the world with the potential and opportunity to be the light. Your internal light is bright in its essence and power, yet for many of you it has become dim over time as you have taken on the dimness and shadows around you, which has faded your light. For some of you, your inner light is flickering, yet this light, your internal pilot light, can never be fully snuffed out. But it can get so dim over time that it's unable to adequately cast its light on the shadows in your life. We do not blame any of you whose light has become dim, but we encourage all of you to shine your light and feed the inner flame that is you, so you can easily see the things within you and around you that are in the light or the shadows. When your light gets dim, when your light gets dim, you lose the ability to differentiate between the shadows and what is not shadow, but is dimmed by the shadows around it. For many of you, this is your daily reality. Yet you can shift this at any time, and you can become aware of the grace, beauty, and power of your inner light. And if that feels too big of a reach for you, then you can start by acknowledging your own inner light, which may have become dim to the point where you rarely see it, but it is still there, even if you don't perceive it. Invite it to shine with your intention and the strength of your heart. Start to look for the light, and you will find it. Others of you have cultivated the light within and have learned to cherish and protect it. And this has helped you grow and thrive internally. Now we invite you to allow your light to shine everywhere. You don't need to protect it so much that it prevents you from sharing your light. In your inner light is safety. And as you allow that light to shine more, as you become comfortable being the beacon of light in the darkness, you stop running away from the dark. You center yourself in the light that you are and beam that light out into the world. Stand tall like a lighthouse as a beacon of light shining in the darkness. The true function of the lighthouse remains hidden in the daytime, but at night it shares its light and helps mariners find their way home. Be willing to be the light, to shine it in the less bright places of your life, whether it's your family, job, neighborhood, friends, whatever it is. And as you shine, you invite those around you to acknowledge and ignite their own lights. There is so much dimness and many shadows in your world right now. Be the beacon of light. Know that you can trust the illumination and guidance of your own light. And your light will save you from the dimness around you if you allow it to shine. Encourage it to shine and stop dimming your light to please others or to accommodate them. We're here inviting you to shine. The lighthouse doesn't dim its glow when certain ships approach. It stands in its light and shines for all. You too can stand in your own light. Truly, this is safer for you than dimming to not be seen in the dark. Of course, we don't encourage you to go to unsafe places and try to overcome the unsafety with your light. This takes a lot of light, a lot of trust and training. Simply be willing to shine more. This will shift your experiences in the dimmer parts of your life, and they will not leave you so drained, defeated, or deflated. You will energize and uplift yourself by being willing to be your own light, to share it more by shining more. There's no effort required here. Simply be willing to be fully you and stop hiding your light. Stop choosing to dim it around others in certain places. The best way to do this is to discover who you truly are and to embrace all of you in a lifelong dance between you, the outer you seen by others, and you, the inner you known by you and us, and perhaps a few others. Stop resisting the light that is you and allow you to shine. Just as a light transforms the darkness when it shines, your light will transform your life simply by shining in its purest form as a light of who you are. Your unique light provides all the comfort, care, grace, and transformation needed. As you allow your light to shine, you feel nurtured, nourished, sustained, and supported by your light, even in the dimmest parts of your life. And from there, as light and dark meet and join together, united in harmony, your light and the darkness not only coexist, they complement each other and collaborate together, allowing your safety, security, and transformation from you into more of you. This is a dance of life that will free you from all fear, to embrace all of you and share all of you wherever you go. And we are here always with you. In great love, we are complete. Namaste.
Oh, that felt so beautiful, just so loving. They always do, but this extra beautiful.
Yes, yes. I think as we get to the more of the uncomfortable topics, the shadows last time and
Yeah.
the gems and the shadows, and we get to those more uncomfortable topics that we see more light is beaming out through the divine, more love, more grace is coming through the messages. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to judge. Their love and their compassion is so present and beautiful, and I'm so grateful to be of service in this way.
Well, thank you too for that. Thank you for being of service, so we can all enjoy that and feel that in our hearts. I love that there's a word there. We just we titled it with the word scary, but then the fear. So that's what was coming through when one of the lines was to trust the illumination, trust our illumination, trust the illumination. And
yes,
that's so interesting that we can We can be afraid of the dark because of what we think is in the dark, but we can also be afraid of illuminating it because then it brings it out. So if we think about it, the darkness has nothing to do with what we are afraid of. It's what we think is in that dark.
It's almost like hearing a scary noise at night, but not wanting to turn on the light just in case you hear this creepy, this like the house is settling in or something, and you hear these noises, and you're like, don't want to see what's there.
You don't want to see, but you want to know. Isn't that? Oh, that is so perfect, actually. That is exactly because we can feel when we're afraid of something like, ooh, I don't want to see, I don't want to know. But then you're like, but I kind of do. So there's an interesting point there where it is courage, but we only have that courage when we trust our illumination, when we trust our intuition, when we trust that we can, I don't want to say handle it, because we're not handling what's in the dark. We can loving, accepting.
Yes, and we're enough. We're more than enough. If we are beaming, we're being us, and we're beaming us. We're beaming that light, like the lighthouse. It's not scary. There is a safety there, which, just like the safety of the womb.
Yes. Aw. Well, you know what? I know we're coming up to commercial break here, so I do have my question gathered. That when we come back,
Excellent.
We'll tune in to Source and say, hey, what's going on out there? Can we get a little help here? So stay tuned with us, please, on Access to Angels and Grace, and we'll be back for Noemi Grace to channel for us.
Thank you, Lisa.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
This is Kathy Beal, host of Celestial Compass, featuring astrology you can use. Celestial Compass points you to what's going on in the sky and what you can do with it down here on Earth. We also explore fun, effective, and cosmic tools for navigating this adventure we call life. Join me the first and third Monday of the month at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Celestial Compass. It's enlightening, entertaining, and empowering.
My loves, you know you're here as a soul-led leader to transform this world through the sharing of your passions and gifts. You are here to be in your warrior of light and align your business with your highest self. I'm Rosalind Fung of the show Activate Your Soulgasmic Business. Let's elevate your business to the next expansive level. I invite you to flow into a business soul alignment discovery call with me at rosalindfung.com. That's ROSALYN, fun as in have some fun, FUNG, and let's see how I can best hold space for you to align your highest self, magnetize your dream clients, and monetize on your soul mission. I can't wait to connect.
If I could be you,
and you could be me for just 1 hour,
if you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind,
walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I love this part. We are discussing that the dark isn't that scary. It's not that scary. You are the light. I love this so much. It feels good to even say. You know, I wrote it down as just 3 words: as the light, as opposed to, with the light, or have the light, take the light. It's as the light. And It just makes me
Yes,
feel
the
good
light.
saying
That's
that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So we are the light. And yes, we forget.
yeah, we do forget because there's so much, we see so much. I think it actually, we're looking externally with the light of the world, light, like sunlight, and lights, that it's too much. Like we have to go inside to see the actual light that we are. And that's where one of the questions was coming up that we could get some more guidance on, perhaps, is I think intuitively we all can feel that, like, okay, there's light. I am the light. I am as the light. So why am there? And the question's coming up, like, why am I afraid then? Why am I afraid? What is so scary? What's holding me back from being able to believe that I am enough to face this, to look at it, to shine the light? And how can I have the courage to even entertain that it's not that scary? I am the light. Here I go. Let's shine. So how can we get a little bit of a bridge, perhaps, to take us from like an inkling, like, okay, maybe I can look, maybe I can turn my own light over here and see, to actually doing that? Because a lot of us don't trust that intuition.
No, well, yeah. And we, if things feel uncomfortable and unsettled and it doesn't feel good, so of course we have this 2 weeks where we're kind of incubating the theme for the show. And last week was uncomfortable, icky, chaotic. It was all these things. It was completely the opposite of what I felt like I'd manifested the week before. And it was all that, and it's so easy to just kind of, for me, to just turn the light off. I'm going to sleep, not metaphorically, but, kind of wanting to disconnect from being the light. And I was conscious at points throughout the week of, oh no, connect in, don't escape, don't pick up the game and just escape yourself into your game. It was kind of be present, be willing to be present and find the gift in it. And the gift comes from within. And it really, I could see myself. It was like I'm doing the dance myself last week because it was just so chaotic, light and dark. And then putting the covers over my head, metaphorically. And, it was that dance of, okay, I'm not going to completely shut down here, turn the light off, say goodnight, blow out the candle, just blow out that pilot light and just say, forget it. I'm done with this stuff. But so it was that dance, the willingness to go with it. And sometimes, sometimes covers over the head metaphorically in the dark, right? Because that creates dimness.
Yes. Yeah.
And then other times, yeah, exactly. Yes, kind of like that. Covers over the head. And then coming back out and being present with it and remembering that I was remembering more the connection that I had with Source than necessarily I am the light kind of a thing. But so
yes. Now that's actually very helpful. I like that. It's the word connection was really, when you said disconnected, that really perked my little ears up, because I think that's what it is. We get that inkling, like, ooh, there's something I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to be uncomfortable. I'd love to be able to shine the light here, illuminate it, dissolve it, like just let the light break it all up into rainbow colors. But then we go, oop, up, up, up. I'd rather just disconnect. That was a really big one. And then we're no longer present because we're not even going to think about it. Oh, it's in the dark, lights off, let it go there. That's scary stuff, closing the door. So that being present and connecting to Source and saying, I'm connected. Maybe I'm not willing or prepared to be the full light right now, but I am connected to the light.
Yes, exactly. I am connected to the light. And I was bringing myself back to that connection as I was going in and out. It was a challenging week. It was like not a week of basking. That's just how the week was,
Right.
So,
And that's okay. And maybe that's where this question can actually go to, is how can we nourish the connection so that we're not just, okay, I'm disconnecting, and we're not fully ready to step and be and as the light, but how can we nourish the connection to light?
Yes.
That might be
I like that.
helpful. Yeah, because sometimes you
I
can't go
love
all
how
the way.
yeah, but you know what? I love how you sit with the question and it evolves, it grows, it morphs. It's nice.
Yes.
You're like, I have the question, and then we talk a little, and then, okay, how about this? So
Yes.
that's a great question.
Evolving. Nourishing the
Yes,
connection
growing.
to light.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a swig of water, and then, if you haven't heard this before, I get silent and I will deepen the connection and to the light, to source, and then I will turn it over to them, and I'll greet the divine, and you'll hear the shift.
Perfect.
Hello, divine. So glad to be here with you. And this is such a great, I love this question. So I'm really eager to hear what you have to say. So I'm turning it over to you. And we are eager to share with you this. So many of you have forgotten that you are the light. You truly are light. The essence of light is within you. The divine light that you may appreciate about us, you may appreciate of us and from us, is all about you, of you, and from you. It exists within you. You have that seed of divine light, and you have the seed of divine love, and you have so much of the seed of divine within you. And so if you go within and you go deep enough, you may find layers of darkness as you're going within. You might be diving through the muck and the murky places. But as you go through that, you will arrive at the light, almost like your planet. There have been stories of going to the center of the earth and going through the lava, the rocks and the lavas, and arriving at the light. And so there are so many layers of you, but the depth of who you are is the truth of who you are. And the truth of who you are is you are light, and you are love. And light is love expressed. The purest form of light is the expression of love. And when that light shines, which is the light of you, you are uniquely love, and you have a uniqueness that joins with love, with unconditional love, and that becomes who you are. That is who you are. And when you shine that beautiful light out there, it's unique, it's love, and it's light. And that is the purest expression of light. The purest light is the expression of love and the love that you are. And so as you can go through the layers, you might not want to go through the layers. It takes some learning, some practice to cultivate the ability to go deep without having to go through the layers. And that is a great cultivation for all of you, great practice to develop as you meditate. If you don't meditate, we encourage you to meditate. If you say your mind is too noisy, it will not get less noisy by not meditating. And when you meditate, you can go deeper than the noisy mind. Meditating is going within. It is going deeper. So you go deeper than the noisy mind, and you find the stillness there. And in that stillness, you see yourself, because the light is shining. And in that light, you see yourself. You see the reflection of who you are. And so cultivating the connection, sit. You may have music, calming music or nature sounds, but sit and ask for connection with us. I would like to be connected to you right now. And we will respond. We will not withhold the connection. We never do. And if you feel like we're not responding, spend more time, get a little more still. Ask for the help to be still, because it is all there within you. The connection to us, the connection to who you truly are, who you truly are is there. And so your connection, who you understand yourself to be on the surface of who you are and who you are in the world, and how you see yourself interacting, and the projection of who you see yourself as you are walking through the world and making choices and communicating and interacting, you see yourself in a certain light. And that light shifts as you get deeper within you. And we encourage you to keep cultivating that connection with yourself and with us, because that alone has enough power to transform your entire life. Because when you see the truth of who you are, all the lies that you've believed about yourself, all the stories that you've told that are not true, all of those things fall away. And you are left in amazement, looking at yourself and being yourself. And when you see the truth of who we are, all the lies that you've been told about us, that we're ready to judge you and punish you and all of those things, they fall away too. Seek the connection. Make it a priority every day. Disconnection is so easy. It is a breath away, but so is the connection. Seek the connection. The light will come, because the light lives in connection. We have so much more to say, but yet we want to honor this time. And we will leave you with this. We love you so much. And we see you so much. We see who you are. And we invite you to step into that as well. We're complete. Namaste.
Oh, I have to repeat one quote, but then I have to laugh, because this time there's a very funny thing I laughed out loud.
Tell me about it.
But first of all, the seek the connection, the light will come was so beautiful. I love that. That just felt nice. That was a very good direction, instruction to move forward. Seek the light. Oh, seek the connection, and the light will come. I just thought that was so beautiful.
And there was that light lives in connection. That's the light lives in the connection.
Yes.
There was that. Yes. I remember that, because that part stuck with me.
Yes. Oh, let's like that down. Like lives, yes. And the one that made me laugh really hard was, the mind will not get less noisy by not meditating. I wrote I thought that was really
I'm going to use that with clients, because they say, I can't meditate. I'm just, for anxiety, I often say, okay, your homework is to learn to meditate. And they're, I can't. My mind is too loud. It's like, it won't get less loud if you don't meditate. That's great.
It was very cute, very real, very real. And then the line was after that was to go deeper than the noise, the noisy mind, and meet the stillness there. And I just thought,
yes,
that goes.
And I liked how they talked about that there are the murky things, and there are those layers, but cultivate the ability to connect to the light that you are, to the light of source. And when we do that through meditation and mindfulness, then we don't have to walk through all those murky layers and go, okay, going to the center of the earth thing that they were talking about. But going to the center of me, kind of like the express. I'm on the express elevator. Take me down.
Oh, I love that, the express train of light. But those layers actually, when you do just layer at a time, as opposed to just thinking I'm going to blast right through to the center core here, it's I don't mean lighter. I mean like not as heavy. It's not so scary to think, okay, I can work with a little bit. Let's shine a little bit of light over here, see what's going on. Because what is it that we are so frightened, that I'm asking you, I guess, Noemi, is that is it scary because we think, oh my gosh, if I shine the light, I'll see that I'm not enough? Is it, I'll see that I failed, I'll see that I feel bad, what is it in there that we think is so scary?
We think that we're so scary. I remember for many years, good part of my life, feeling like if people got really close to me and they got to really know me, they wouldn't like me, because really I might seem okay on the surface, but if they got deep inside, they would go, yuck.
Oh, no,
I believe that for decades. I know that's not true. And I know it's not true now, and I hear that with my clients. It's like, ooh, no, if you really knew me, I say, I do really know you. And I see all the goodness in you. So it is, we've been judged. I think it comes down to that, is like, we've been loved and we've been judged, and the judgment seems to speak in a louder tone than the love. And so easy to take on that judgment and feel not good enough.
That is so true. It's a judgment. I think that you're right. That's what it is. So judged by ourselves and judged by others. That's something. Another word that's coming up, and I know we're going to commercial in 1 minute, so I'm going to bring this up. The word pain. I just keep hearing pain in my, that if we look there, it's going to cause pain. I will be in pain. I will suffer. I don't want to look because it's too painful. So I know I want to take
painful.
it there. Yeah. After the commercial break. But and that actually comes up for a lot of people to say, yes, all the things that have hurt me are in the dark. So I'm not going to look. I'm afraid of it. It's going to be there, but it's causing us pain to be afraid. It's causing us pain to not look.
Of course it is. Yes. And what you see, a really quick story before we go to commercial. My husband and I, when we were younger, would backpack. We backed up this Mount San Gorgonio in Southern California, and we got in the tent, and it was late, so we didn't hang our food from the tree and all of it, and then I hear this noise coming into the vestibule of the tent. So, there's a bear out there. There's a bear. David, wake up. It was a deer. It was it was a sweet little deer, wanted to lick the pots that we hadn't washed because it was dark and we were in the darkness, so we just went into the tent. And so I was sure it was this big bear with big teeth, and it was a sweet little deer.
That's the perfect story for this. Oh, I love that. Okay, yes. Yeah. Okay, we're coming back to that bear and deer story when we come back. Access to angels and grace.
Okay.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Consistently attract soulmate clients, begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalind Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spot that activates your soulgasmic business by tuning in on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Mountain. Join me for your light language activation, and let's magnetize and monetize.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Oh, well, Noemi, Grace, just shared a story before we left, and it was so... Well, so I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad the not bear is okay, and the deer is okay. But I love that we think that things are going to be like we're positive. It's this. These are all the circumstances. This is the environment. This is what happened. You know, you left stuff out, and it absolutely we're positive that thing is that scary, and then it can turn. Sometimes it can be scary, but most times it can turn out to be very sweet. And some of the things that you think, oh gosh, it's too painful. I'm not going to look at that, because it's a big scary bear and it's going to hurt me. And as we look at it, what is it that we have to have? Do we have to have cultivated enough love and compassion so that it does turn out to be the sweet deer? Because if we don't have that compassion and love for ourselves and we do look, we might only see the bear and get hurt.
We see the shadow of the bear in the deer, it's the deer, but we're seeing it as, ooh, look at that shadow of bear.
Yes.
So yes, we do need that compassion for sure. The self-compassion, but it's that, I think too, when it's too painful, right, the word that comes to me is shame. Too shameful. Can't look, can't tell anybody, gotta bury it.
Alone.
Don't even sit with it. Just try to get rid of it. It's just bury it somehow.
That, I just got goosebumps. Yes, I have to write that down. That is a big one. I think that this show definitely needs to go there for some people. Is that alone? I got to bury it. It's shameful if I bring it up. And because there's ownership that's going on there a little bit, but there could also be anger and somebody else hurt me. And I don't want to take ownership of this. So it's not even mine. So what if, here's a good question. What if in the dark, this one's good. What if what's in the dark that's so scary, we don't think it's ours, it's somebody else's. So how could we even shine the light and look at it? What am I going to do with it? It's not, somebody else did this. They've hurt, there's blame.
Somebody else did that, but to us, or somebody else did this. If it didn't impact us in any way, then, it wouldn't be related to us. So whatever, yes, if someone abused you, say, you were impacted by it. And a lot of times people will take on some level of blame for what happened to them.
Right.
And so then the shame comes with that blame. It's like, if I was better, this wouldn't have happened to me. So if I was a better person, or if I did the right thing, or if this, that, and the other.
Right, exactly. Okay. So I think that's something, this pain word just keeps coming up. It's like, there's, I like the alone part, because sometimes we don't want to face, when you're little, and it's like, you go to a loved one and an adult or something, your mom, dad, say, it's scary in there. Can you go with me? Can you go with me? Because even if it's dark, but if you're there with me, then I can do this. We talked about that connection and asking to connect, with the light, with the divine light, and to see ours. But if we're alone and we think that darkness, we are alone in the dark. And there's this guidance that's needed to go there. It's that if we truly believe that we are alone, and how can we even think about it? Are we safer to leave it there in the dark than to actually go in alone?
And so on some level, I know that I'm never alone, but yes, we can certainly feel alone in the world. I think we've all felt that. And the shame. If we feel the shame, it'll isolate us. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how we alone can fix it. We think, okay, if I am alone or I'm connected to source, you're like, all right, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to shine the light, I'm going to look at that thing that's causing me pain and I wanted to bury it. But then what? And if we're lacking that belief, that intuition, that something will arise in us to love it enough to dissolve it, to see that it's a deer and not a scary bear.
Yeah.
So I think there's I guess the connection is, what if we feel like we're alone, or that we can't handle it alone, or that we can't, there's just so a powerlessness. No, wait.
Yes.
powerlessness. Yeah, that we don't have the power. Like, what if I think there's some guidance that's needed if we're feeling those things, the aloneness, the not able, not capable, not enough, and the powerlessness.
Mm-hmm. That powerlessness. Yeah, for sure. That's a big one.
Yeah.
So if we're starting there, starting in that powerless place, we see that the thing, right? The bear, the perceived bear has all the power. The bear is bigger than me. The deer is bigger than me, but it wasn't, she wasn't, it was a doe, a big doe. She wasn't scary. She was sweet. She had red eyes. I didn't expect that. And, but she was not scary when I saw her. I was like, oh, okay. Face to face with the doe who's licking the bits.
Right. Oh. So yes, I think that's a beautiful place to say when we're feeling powerlessness is really a big one, because you're right. Because when you are feeling alone and that you've been hurt and that you can't, you're already carrying that hurt around. You're already carrying the bear with you. You already think there's a bear, and so and I would feel powerless. With the bear. How can I connect to? Even just thinking, well, I'm not, because my mind isn't going to go there. Well, maybe it's just a sweet deer. It's not going to go there. It's going to go, I can't dissolve this. I can't shine my light and make this go away.
I didn't want to, I don't want to see the bear. David, you go look at the bear. You deal with the bear. You scare the bear away. He goes, it's a deer. I said, what? And then I looked, I wasn't going to look if it was a bear.
Right.
And I found out later there were no bears in that park we were hiking. But in my mind, they were full of bears.
Yes. Yeah.
So the perception, when we're powerless, our perception is distorted, right? Because we don't shine the light.
Yeah.
This is going to have to be super quick.
Yes, sorry
looking at the
that.
time. Okay, no. What are we apologizing for? This has been the dive into this for all of us. So nothing to apologize for. So and I was you're the second person that apologized to me today. I'm like, what? Oh, my husband too. 3. Okay. All right. So just gonna dive in quick to source and see. I'm just gonna take that swig and dive right in. So can you help us? Well, I know you can help us. Eager to hear what you have to share. Divine, when we're feeling alone and isolated and powerless and afraid to shine the light, afraid what we will see. Where do we go? Where do we start from there? And we have great compassion for you, as you have all felt all of those things, alone, isolated, powerless, shameful, unable to make a change, and unable to look at something, unable to do what you think is the right thing. And so where do you go from there? Ask for help. Ask for help. Where can you ask for help? Firstly, you can always ask for help from us. We're always available on the spiritual level and the emotional level and even the mental level to help you. We are able to help you with that deep connection, but also with the feelings that are hurt and wounded, and with the thoughts that are scary in the mind. We are here to help all of you. So ask for our help, but then expand who around you can help you. And if you can't answer that question, then ask us to help you to bump into that person, to somehow connect with a person that can help you. Because isolated and alone is where the biggest fear is. You are all, until you have overcome this, and by being able to see from the light, in the light, as the light, you are all fearful of that isolation, that separation from your peers and from your friends and from your family, and feeling that fear that's there. And so, feel scary? We're there. The scarier it is, remember to connect with us, and then see ask us for help and ask who can you reach out to, because you don't need to be in the scary place alone. This is something that you humans have taken upon yourselves to think that the scary place must be navigated alone. Many of you have taken this on because of the shame that you are in the scary place, because of the pain, because of the way you blame yourself and you label yourself as not good enough, unworthy, unlovable, all of those feelings that go into being in that scary place. So have compassion enough for yourself and have enough commitment to yourself that you will reach out to us, reach out to those around you, reach out to those who can help you, who have their own light that they can shine to help you see. So if you are in the dimness and you can't see, and yet another is with you who has more light, ask them to shine. Ask them to be with you, to sit with you in this place. And when you are in the scary place and you sit there not alone, it transforms the place. And you can sit there not alone by connecting with us and receiving our grace and our love and our compassion. Or you can also sit with someone who loves you unconditionally, who's someone who cares for you deeply, and have them sit in that scary place with you. That alone transforms that scary place and takes the feared bear and to the gentle deer. And the gentleness that is there when you are in connection, you can feel a gentleness in a place that prior to the connection felt scary. We know that this is part of your human condition and this is part of human life. And yet we encourage you not to live in that place of isolation and disconnection, but to seek the connection and to seek the help and to from us and from those around you. And if you are surrounded by people who are not helpful to you, people that with whom you don't feel loved and you don't feel supported, then be willing to open yourself to find and make new connections, because they are there and they are not far away from you. There are people around all of you who are more in deeper connection with us, who are more willing to have compassion. And so get out of the isolation of the darkness and bring yourself into the light through connection with us and others. We love you so much. We honor the time, and we thank you for your time with us today. Until next time, namaste.
Oh, that last line was so beautiful. I didn't quite remember, but get out of the isolation of the dark and into the connection of the light is what I grabbed. But I'll have to listen back.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that isolation. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is I remember, I can squeeze this story in. I used to be a personal trainer in a ladies' gym. And, you know, whenever you're lifting something too heavy, you know, you want to lift that heavy. You want to strengthen that muscle. So you ask for a spotter. Right. And as a trainer, you know, we're spotting them. So you're there, you may assist. Just the very thought, though, that the person who's lifting that weight and they think, yeah, I've got somebody with me. I'm not alone. I can lift this head. There's something so powerful that people can actually lift even more weight when they think that somebody's there helping them. It's so funny.
I bet that's true.
Yes, there's this thing. And so this reminded me when we say, you know, I remember when I was little, I had a full support of my parents. I was very rarely afraid. Even if I did something wrong, I knew I could go to them and look at something scary or dark. I always felt safe to do that. And I can only imagine, you know, different times in my life where I maybe didn't think that and the difference that was, like how I felt disconnected when I didn't feel supported or had that help. So that's such an important message, is not just the ask for help, but there was also an additional in the channel message there to reach out.
Reach out, yes. And I loved how they said there are people with compassion that are willing to shine their light that are not far from you. Because I remember that at a time in my life feeling very alone and isolated, feeling like there was nobody there that I could reach out to. So that there are people nearby and we can ask Source for help in connecting with them.
Oh,
for something so practical. Yes.
There are people nearby who can shine their light for you and two, I'm going to squeeze this in, is you remember how if you ever done, I don't know, let's call it cave you're in a dark cave and you're doing things, but they set a rope up. And so you're holding, everybody's like holding the rope. It's just that, it's assistance, it's just assistance for you. It's help. It's reaching out and that is there is that guidance. You're not alone. I think that's the biggest thing. There are people nearby. That's a
yes.
consoling feeling.
Yes, it is. It is. So transform the scary place through connection, through connecting with our own light and connecting with source and connecting with people with compassion.
Yes. And it does take a little courage, but I know that everybody listening, you have some in there, that you do because you're listening and you're here. And so we are offering to be that light as well. I know, Noemi, and I would love, we can help shine the light for you. We try to do that every show. And thank you so much, Noemi, for shining the light.
Thank you, Lisa, for sharing experience. Thank you to all who are listening. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks after U.S. Thanksgiving on the 28th.
Yes. Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you all. Bye, everyone. Bye, Noemi.
Bye.